The ASTI has negotiated an addendum to the Senior Cycle Redevelopment Implementation Support Measures document, SCRISM, or SCRISM, recently with the Department of Education and Youth. This May, members will be asked to vote on this document and addendum. After extensive deliberations, the ASTI Central Executive Council, CEC, recommends that ASTI members vote yes to accept. The addendum represents meaningful advancement and progress. It includes a facility whereby ASTI members are eligible to apply for 2 permanent and pensionable posts of responsibility at the AP1 and AP2 level, dedicated to senior cycle and L1, L2 coordination. Until very recently, ASTI members were effectively denied access to these roles because members had not accepted the SCRISM support package in May 2025. This new proposal changes that, which is a significant breakthrough. Most importantly, these posts come with mandatory timetable alleviation, 4 hours for AP1 and 2 hours for an AP2 holder. Appointment to these posts, however, depends on acceptance of the implementation supports and addendum. The revised proposals include an improved comprehensive legal protection for teachers authenticating students' coursework as part of the Leaving Cert projects or additional assessment components, AACs, an indemnity in effect. A pilot laboratory support assistance scheme to aid our science teachers with the new project work. This will start immediately in September 2026. This pilot could also scope out how digital support could operate in schools and how other subjects with practical components could be supported. Specific details will be consulted upon with the union. There are enhanced financial supports, including a $2 million implementation support grant to be provided to all schools, with discretion at school level as to how it is utilised. It is important to point out that the Crow Park hours rebalance is not merely a plus 4 hours. It is 14 hours on a high trust basis, replacing the 10 discretionary hours that required verification with management. A commitment is also provided that the Department of Education and Youth will review the annual science subject grant, currently set at €25 per student. They will review that immediately following the first senior cycle examination of the Tranche 1 subjects. Also, further targeted training through EDGE on health and safety will be provided for science teachers. There will be a new facility to provide feedback on EDGE training separately rather than only on the day of a professional learning event. This can aid in developing better quality and more specific targeted training for our members. The Department of Education and Youth has provided greater definition around assessment weightings, especially in orals and orals. We have secured assurances that the oral in English is protected, despite the pause on this subject. Additionally, the revised proposals include access to 3 forums. The first is a workload working group. Second is a task force on AI. And third, the post-primary implementation group, or a senior cycle redevelopment review group. Access to these groups is vital and gives ASTI members a strong voice at the table where further improvements and change can be effected. The department has committed to early rapid reviews for all subjects, starting with Tranche 1 and continuing through Tranche 5. These reviews will specifically evaluate the appropriateness of all aspects of the subject, including the 40% weighting for non-written components, and will involve input from practicing teachers nominated by unions. We are presently fully cooperating with Senior Cycle Redevelopment. The local bargaining gives a 3% increase overall. This equates to approximately a €1,500 increase to a teacher on the bottom and a €2,700 increase to a teacher on the top of the pay scale per year. This is significant in today's Ireland, where the cost of living has increased dramatically. The new proposals are the result of negotiations between the ASTI and the Department of Education and Youth, following the rejection of the initial proposals by ASTI members in a ballot in May 2025. Since then, the ASTI has engaged extensively with the dispute resolution mechanisms in the Public Service Agreement 2024-26. While the addendum does not address every concern, it represents meaningful advancement. The ASTI Central Executive Council, or CEC, recommends a yes vote, viewing it as a platform for further progress. The recommendation reflects the view that while the proposals are not perfect, the addendum represents real and tangible progress on the issues you raised. I encourage members to review the proposals carefully and make their voices heard. What is the proposal regarding Crow Park hours in this ballot? The proposal regarding the Crow Park hours in this ballot is for 14 Crow Park hours to be used on a high-trust, non-whole school, teacher-led basis. This is different from previous practice. These 14 hours replace the 10 non-whole school hours, which are subject to appropriate verification and accountability. Can ASTI members apply for the senior cycle posts of responsibility? The proposals you are balloting on include over 1,000 senior posts at AP1 and AP2 level. That's 1 to 2 posts per school, with reduced class contact hours included for teachers in voluntary secondary schools. Yes, ASTI members can apply for these posts. The ASTI has negotiated that ASTI members can apply for these posts, and if the ASTI members accept Senior Cycle Redevelopment implementation support measures and the addendum in this ballot, then ASTI members who ranked first in interviews will be appointed to these posts. It is really important that members get full and verified information on this ballot from the ASTI. Read the special nuacht on the ballot and visit www.asti.ie/ballot.